Hi there folks, Aaron Dunn here from the SMSF Academy and welcome to our May 2017 update where we share with you everything that's been going on around self-managed super, but also importantly with our campus platform to help you build a better SMSF business. So what we're going to cover in this month's update: latest news, looking at things around announcements from the federal budget, technical amendments from Treasury, finalisation of law companion guidelines, release of practical compliance guidelines, and much more. We'll also be sharing with you some exciting new features and where we're heading with some of our features, including the ability now to add logos into fund documents. We've also now created a new Super Reforms tab to help you find the documents that you need to comply and be ready for the 1st of July. The ability to reset your own orders if you need to make changes, and the first part of our new customization of our dashboard and building better reporting for you. We'll provide some info on our new documents, so further updates around our deed as a result of some of the finalisation of measures that we've talked about above, super reform documents that we've now started to build as well, amendments to existing documents, and just some guidance on future release. And then we'll finally wrap it up with some upcoming training and then details of our SMSF Day online course, which we released on the 15th of May. So plenty going on. Lots still to be done between now and the 30th of June as well. So from our latest news point of view, we have of course seen the 17-18 budget come down. Luckily, we haven't seen anywhere near the amount of information come out in respect to superannuation this year. So just to touch on a couple of the points. The most relevant one here was the announcement by the government to allow for a person 65 years of age or over to make a non-concessional contribution of up to $300,000 from the proceeds of their principal residence and tip that into the fund. So this is going to be excluded from the $1.6 million total superannuation balance definition. So we are going to be able to make that contribution regardless of the quantum of money. Also, because they're over 65, there's going to be no imposition of the work test, nor will there be any imposition of age limitation. So we are, of course, waiting to see some further detail, but this measure will apply to sales of principal residences owned for the past 10 or more years, and both members of a couple will be able to take advantage of this, which means it is a $600,000 non-concessional contribution with $300,000 available each. So we don't know whether this is a lifetime cap. We are obviously just waiting to see some detail around that. So the other measure here from the budget is around the integrity of LRBAs. So from the 1st of July, the government is going to be looking at making some changes that will impact both the members' total superannuation balance definition and also their transfer balance cap. The concern with the transfer balance cap is that there is an ability to circumvent not only the caps but also how that amount where we're transferring a repayment ultimately that is coming not from the earnings generated from that investment but from, say, contributions, that amount that is moving from the accumulation phase into the retirement phase is not being captured. So those such amounts would have to become credits against the transfer balance account as a result of the introduction of these measures. And in addition to that, they are also going to be representing the outstanding balance of an LRBA in the member's total superannuation balance as well. So there is a bit more detail that formed part of the exposure draft. We will await to see some further information from the government in respect to this, but we are expecting these measures around the integrity of LRBAs to commence from the 1st of July 2017. Also, we are seeing some further changes around the use or related party transactions and non-commercial arrangements in respect to that. So the non-arm's length provisions here are going to be amended to ensure that expenses that would normally apply for commercial transactions are also included in considering whether a transaction has actually been done on a commercial basis as well. So we're looking here at section 299(550), where we're looking at that non-arm's length income provision. And now this will extend to ensuring that the expenses incurred through these commercial transactions are also deemed to be done on an arm's length basis as well. Recently finalised is Law Companion Guideline LCG 2017-3, and this is looking at the death benefits and the impact on the transfer balance cap. This is an area that we're covering in our webinar this month in May on the 24th, where we're going to be not only looking at the finalisation of this Law Companion Guideline, but looking at related issues around the payment of death benefits under the new reform. So this specifically is providing guidance on the tax and regulatory treatment of death benefits and the death benefit income streams as a result of the introduction of the transfer balance cap from the 1st of July. In addition, we've seen practical compliance guideline around where the Commissioner will look to be applying resources or not looking to be applying resources in circumstances where we need that individual to undertake a commutation, whether done in part or in full, to comply again with the introduction of the $1.6 million transfer balance cap. Specifically, the guideline is applying to members of SMSFs who need to request that commutation in order to avoid an excess transfer balance amount. There are some really important decisions that need to be made around that, and we'll cover that and the release of the documents that we've put in place for those members to be able to comply with the introduction of the reforms. Our new campus features, and we're excited to announce the ability to now add your logo of your business and the details into various SMSF legal documents. So when we go into the membership platform now, you can see under your profile, if you update your profile, you will have the ability to not only include your specific information in here, but you can now attach your business logo, and once you've attached the logo and update that, that will then print out on the front of your SMSF trust deed. It will also incorporate into some of the other legal documents, including deed upgrades. I'm not sure whether I've got a copy in here, but just to quickly show you, when we look at a completed order in here, if I find a deed upgrade, so if we then download the document, you will have the ability in this blank space that you'll see once it comes up here. In this space here is you'll be able to add your logo in there, and the contact details down here will also be able to include your business contact details. So it makes it very worthwhile for you to add that information in as you start to generate a range of the trust deed upgrades as well. So in addition to that, we've now incorporated the ability to reset orders you may have. So if you wish to make a change to that specific order, you can now simply reset that document, and that document will push that order back to save. So you can see that order 756 has been pushed back into the saved orders area. We can go into our saved order and then make the necessary change that we need to include here. So if we go back into here, so we can see 7656, and then allows us to go and resume. If you have a range of things in here and you're not going to use them anymore, you can then simply delete these out of here, and they'll also clear out of your saved order. It is important to note that when you do things like an integration document or part of a workflow document, for example, if you're setting up a new fund and you're wanting to also generate a document for, say, a death benefit nomination or an investment strategy, it will then automatically populate into the saved orders area that you can then go and resume and review the information based on what has been populated. So in addition to that reset orders, what we've also started on now is the dashboard visibility. So this ability to customize the information that you want to be able to see. And in here, in this first bit, we have added in dashboard visibility, where you can simply say, I want to see these specific things. So I want to add in the year-to-date revenue, I want to add in my completed orders, but I don't want the orders that need attention. I may not want to see the recent activity, etc., etc. You can submit that, and then it will update your dashboard in respect to what you can and can't see on there. What we are also doing is, if you do have standard pricing for many of your fund orders, you can always incorporate those pricing points into here and submit that information, because what that is currently doing is enabling you to track what your monthly revenue is and your year-to-date revenue in respect to the benefits of membership. So that would populate in here. In our development side at the moment, we're taking things a little bit further for you. So you'll be able to start to look at your usage inside your business, both in the context of the number of documents that you are generating and then the revenue that you are also going to be generating as well. So this is going to give you some greater oversight into the level of activity that you're doing within our SMSF Academy platform. So plenty going on in respect to the campus features. In addition to that, we've now also added our into the new completed orders area the ability to now filter by superannuation reform. So in addition to our tabs at the moment, we now have our super reforms tab, so you can quickly go in and look at to do your deed upgrade or things like the transfer balance cap to comply with a partial commutation or full commutation, CGT relief and much more. So we are working through a suite of documents at the moment to be able to add in here, but the ability to filter by that is a very quick and succinct way for you to be able to find the document that you actually need. So the other areas now as we move on is just to understand that we've now reinvigorated our member-only Facebook group. So this is something that is available to our gold, silver and bronze members. It is a way in which we can share with you the latest technical news, discuss topics. This is then the ability to, when we go to this, you can actually go into the support area and enter into the Facebook group here. So if I might just open that up in a new tab. And then the Facebook group here is a closed group. So as I said, it will only be available for members. And then we are regularly talking about bits and pieces. So for example, the other day here, advising that the total super balance and things around the request for bring forward cap information and the like is now available through the tax agent portal, and what you can do for that. Access to speech information and discussing certain topics. We'll also be using this to be able to run live Q&A events and the so forth, to be talking about the release of issues and making sure that you keep on top of stuff. So it's a very quick and succinct way that we can be talking to you, we can be sharing content, and most importantly, we can become and run live events within the membership group very easily and share that information and have live discussions about that. So something just to be aware of. If you haven't joined, you can simply come to the site through the support area and request that, and then we can organize the approval to join that group if you haven't done so already. What else have we got? So let's keep moving. In terms of updated documents, we have a range of documents that have been updated through not only April, and as we move into May, we've made some further tweaks. So in terms of our legal documents, we have, as a result of the finalization of Law Companion Guideline 2017-3, made some minor tweaks around death benefit super income streams, also made some changes around TRISs, which we'll cover shortly. We've made an update around the DBNs, again just a minor adjustment to ensure that it aligns up with the governing rules of the fund. We have also added in with our change of trustee documents, so in our completed order you will be able to generate your trustee declaration, so the ATO form that will populate the information within it. So when we go change of trustee here, you can see not only to generate the document, but you can also generate the ATO trustee declaration document as well. So again, it's just about saving you time. It will pre-populate all the information that you need to have your client sign. We are also there looking at adding in the change of details form. So again, populating that form based on the conditions that are inside your application. We have also introduced into the pension documentation the concept of the paramount document. That was a key part of the deed upgrade that we made in February earlier this year. So you'll now have the ability to state whether you wish the pension is to be a paramount document, and therefore will take or will override any other decisions of the trustee, in particular if you're taking into consideration any death benefit nomination. The other couple that I want to spend some time on are around pension changes here, and specifically back into the super reform documents we have now built out in accordance with Practical Compliance Guideline 2017-5, the issues of complying with the transfer balance cap. Now in here you can see this is for the full commutation of an income stream, or we have it with the partial commutation of an income stream. If you want to see, I guess, and understand what this does, we've created these help videos in here to help you work through that. You can then start and go through and complete that specific order and obtain the information that you need to generate to comply with an individual reducing their transfer balance cap before the 1st of July 2017. So if we just go into a completed one here just to show you what that document will generate. So this is important because you're going to need to ensure that individuals have complied with the transfer balance cap by completing this document and have it signed and ensure that the commutation takes effect. So this is being prepared in accordance specifically with the Commissioner's guidance in PCG 2017-5, and you can see the request there, then the acceptance minute, and it doesn't need to state specific amounts at this stage, but will form part of the 30 June 2017 financial statements that are due no later than the lodgement of the return. So those are ready and available to be using now. We're getting members using them and getting that information out to their clients to ensure that the Commissioner doesn't apply resources where they don't believe that that commutation was done correctly and would therefore be deemed to be reported as an excess transfer balance from the 1st of July 2017. In addition to that, we've added in this document called adding an account-based pension as a special rule of the fund. So if you have a pre-existing income stream and you're adopting the SMSF Academy's governing rules here, you can then say that the pension that is in existence, we want it to become a special rule of the fund, which is a key feature of the existing deed. The importance of that is that if you then wish to have that income stream or those terms and conditions of that income stream changed in the future, that can be done by virtue of simply altering those terms and conditions rather than a full commutation and repurchase. So you can see here there's a request to add it as a special rule. Our minutes of meeting confirming that we can create the rule and hereby confirm it to be a special rule of the fund as well. So we are looking at adding a range of other documents. You saw in the super reforms area. In here we have on scope at the moment the documentation that we need to create around the CGT relief, in addition to those documents for the proportionate method and the segregated method. We'll be covering a resolution or a minute around the ability or the wanting to adopt the proportionate method where it is currently segregated, because that has some pretty critical implications around which assets may be eligible for relief. We're also looking at minutes and resolutions around potential rollbacks of death benefit income streams, subject to the final guidance from the Commissioner with a public PCG, so Public Compliance Guideline. And I guess where we get any further information from our members, the other one may be around transition to retirement rollbacks. So there's plenty to be done, and we will just keep building at a rapid rate to make sure we have this information readily available for you. So what else can we share with you around this? Like I said, so from a trust deed amendment, we have just also now released what we'll be calling our June version. And this is covering off two critical things off the back of recent decisions by the ATO. So the first is the ability to convert a TRIS to an account-based pension as a replacement income stream. which will deem a rollback and repurchase of that income stream. So the ATO has made very clear that they believe a TRIS will always be a TRIS unless you commute and repurchase that. Now that has some pretty significant implications, which also extended to the definition change that was needed in the transfer balance cap as a credit. So a transition to retirement income stream where a condition of release has been met will actually now become a retirement phase income stream. But from a SIS perspective, they haven't covered off what is required if you wish it to no longer be a TRIS and therefore have a 10% maximum imposed. So we've got that covered off now in the deed. So I would suggest that you take a close look at that and give consideration to ensuring that the rules will allow for that process to apply where transition to retirement income streams exist. The other one that we've also added, subject to the finalisation now of 2017-3, the Law Companion Guideline on Death Benefits, is that we've actually now stated separately a definition of a superannuation death benefit income stream, because this of course imposes some additional restrictions around the cashing conditions and also around the rollover of superannuation death benefits, whether it's going into the fund or coming out of the fund. And we've therefore made changes to the rules around rollbacks of income streams and the rollovers as a result of those death benefits as well. So those two have been key changes. So if I just have a look here in terms of the deed, you can see here, this is clause 25.1. We've now added in C here, so subject to the fund retaining its complying status, where they've commenced the TRIS and subsequently meets a nil cashing restriction, they may, at the request of the trustee, convert such income stream to an account-based pension as a replacement income stream, and upon agreeing to do so, it shall be deemed to be a commutation rollback and to create a new separate replacement income stream as an ordinary account-based pension, which is in retirement phase, gives us the tax exemption made in compliance with the superannuation laws. So that now will cover off the requirement around the TRIS. Okay. So just as we wrap things up in terms of upcoming events, we have our webinar on the 24th of May around the dealing with death benefits and the introduction of the transfer balance cap. So members, you can register. Many of you will have already registered. We are about to send out information for those that wish to join us for that webinar. It is $99. To join us, it will come with accreditation with the FPA, SMSF Association and major accounting bodies. The final thing here is that we have also released our SMSF Day online course this week, being the starting on the 15th of May. We launched in week 1, which was the first module on CGT relief. Next week, we move into the release of modules 2 and 3 around the total superannuation balance definition and the impact that it has on accumulation and retirement phase interests. And then we move into the new world of retirement phase. So in particular, looking at the measures around the transfer balance cap and how that works. And the final week, we go into modules 4 and 5, looking at estate planning and then being reform ready and what that means, what you need to do and what you need to put in place, by when, and how you go about doing that. So it is available for our gold, silver and bronze members within your membership. $397 for those that wish to buy it on a pay-as-you-go basis. Again, comes with 7.5 CPD points from the SMSF Association, 6.25 points from FPA Australia, and also will count as 6.25 points for the major accounting bodies. So it's been a big month in May. Lots being done, lots to be covering. If you want to find out more about what we've covered in this document, you can get in contact with us there. But at any time, if you haven't had a trial and want to chat to us about a 14-day trial with our membership solution, please feel free to reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to have a discussion with you, whether it's through trust deed updates or just the reform documents that you need and keeping up to date. We'd be more than happy to help. Thank you once again for joining us for our May 2017 update, and I look forward to sharing with you plenty more exciting news as we move into June. Cheers.